What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me. And today is a monumental day in Colts Nation, as what we've talked about over the past couple days actually happened. Yesterday, we talked about in the last video we had yesterday was about how Shane Steichen came out and said that we're evaluating everything when asked about Anthony Richardson, right? And it kind of gave you the idea that Anthony Richardson might get sat. And that's what I tried to tell people. And I don't think this is a long-term thing, and we'll have a different video on what the future of AR looks like now that he has actually been benched. But it is officially Joe Flacco's season, and I think that's a move that, especially after what Anthony did, right, pulling himself on that third down. Like, it's just the way the people on the team are going to feel about that with the quarterback doing that. Anthony put Shane in an impossible spot. People are going to hate that this happens because Anthony needs the reps. And everybody's going to blame Shane. I can't believe you do this. We're just turning away from this guy. He needs to get the reps. Da, da, da. There's those people. There's also a lot of people that think Flacco should have been starting all season. There are people that have been out on AR since he got hurt last year, even though we saw steady improvement last year. But I think between the regression in numbers that we're seeing, I think the offense as a whole just hasn't been as good this year, whether it was Flacco or Anthony Richardson, right? Even though we're putting up 20 plus a game, right? Flacco puts up 34, but that's against a Jaguars defense that is absolute crap, like one of the worst defenses this season in the NFL. So little give and take there, right? And so I don't want to sit here and say, oh, Joe Flacco is going to come in and all of a sudden we're going to turn into one of the best offenses in the league. But it is promising because this is a move where the players, everybody on the team is going to see what Anthony did and how things have been going and how he's played this year, right? They're his teammates and they love him. They want him to be the best version of himself. But at the same time, we have a lot of veteran guys, led by DeForest Buckner, right? Guys that are coming to the end of their careers and would like a chance to just go to the playoffs, for one. A lot of the guys on this team have been so loyal to the franchise, and we just haven't been able to get to the playoffs, let alone trying to compete for a Super Bowl. And I mean, you have the Chiefs who are making trades for incredible players, and they're already undefeated. The Chiefs didn't throw a single touchdown pass in October, and they are still the only undefeated team in the NFL. I saw that stat just a little while ago. Absolutely insane that that's a real thing. But then the Ravens trade for Deontay Johnson. They're trying to get better. The Steelers, who we beat, they're the leaders of the NFC North, and right now they put Russ in. And they made that change from Justin Fields to Russ, and you see what's happening there. That offense has transformed, right? So I think that's probably the best example for us as Colts fans is looking at from Justin Fields, who was playing well for the Steelers. It obviously wasn't perfect. He turned the ball over a couple times in the game against us. It wasn't perfect, but Justin Fields was winning games. I think they were, 3-1 with Justin Fields or something like that. So to turn to Russell Wilson, I thought they were crazy. Everybody thought they were crazy. And all of a sudden, George Pickens looks like the player that we all thought he could be when he was coming out of college, right? And that offense is working. So I think that's what we need to look at as Colts fans is that with Joe Flacco in, we have a chance to win. And I think the team as a whole is going to get a boost because they understand now we have a chance to really go. Right, you put Joe Flacco in, a guy that has experience, somebody that we know is going to come in and complete, 60, 65% of his passes or better. He's going to be able to move the ball down the field. And when we saw Joe Flacco play, he did not have Jonathan Taylor with him. So we're going to see Joe Flacco be able to operate with Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. It's not what we were hoping for this season. Obviously coming into the year, it was, Anthony getting healthy, getting some time to work on things. Maybe, after a year of sitting out and maturing, he's going to come into this year and he's going to be firing and ready to go. That's just not been the case. And the offense hasn't been as dynamic as we had hoped. So we'll see a shift in how the offense works. I'm sure there's going to be more under center stuff. Obviously, RPO is not going to be a thing. Options aren't going to be a thing. I think Shane has his own responsibility and what happened here, and just is Shane has taken a step back in my opinion as a play caller, but obviously with Anthony as the head of the offense on the field, like he has a say in, hey, we're going to either stay in this play or we're going to check out of it because of what I'm seeing, setting protections and those types of things. And I think there's just some clear things that need to be worked on. And again, we'll talk about the full Anthony situation, but this is more video just, hey, we got Joe Flacco. It's officially Joe Flacco season. And there's no telling if it's only going to be a game, right? And which is what I talked about last night. We could just hold him accountable and, hey, you want to quit on your team? We're going to sit you out a game. Joe is going to be the guy. Sam's going to be the backup. AR as the emergency quarterback. That's kind of what I expect going forward. And we'll see if this is season long. Is he going to be the backup to Joe? We'll see as that comes along. Shane, I believe, will have his press conference again on Wednesday. I mean, with this decision, he may do something today, or it might have been calculated, right? Don't make any moves yesterday because he had his press conference. Do it today when it's an off day. There's really nobody in the building. So you have an off day. Go ahead, do this. Nobody has to do press. You have a day to get the PR together, right? And to get the what you want to say to the press mapped out and that sort of thing. It's a strategy, I assume, and one that we're seeing from a lot of teams. A lot of moves used to be made on Mondays in the NFL. This year, there's a lot of stuff happening on Tuesdays in the NFL, which again is an off day for most NFL teams that play on Sundays. So coming up, it's going to be Joe Flacco against the Vikings. The Vikings, who have had a really good defense, but over the last couple of weeks have been a bit exposed by the teams that they're playing. So we'll see, can Joe Flacco and this offense with Jonathan Taylor, can we go in and avenge the 33-0 game? Can we come in and beat Minnesota and get ourselves back over 500 and really start to go as we go into the season? Can we become a playoff team? That's really the biggest question. Does Joe Flacco make us a playoff team? And again, there's a good chance we're not competing for a Super Bowl. So at this point, right, with Joe Flacco, can we just get to the playoffs? I want to see, Zaire Franklin, EJ Speed, Jonathan Taylor, DeForest Buckner, Grover Stewart. I want to see these guys make it to the playoffs and have that experience of being able to play in the playoffs, right? A lot of these guys that I just mentioned, especially were here in 2020 with Phillip Rivers, and we lost that game in Buffalo. And now that we're a couple games back from Houston, if we do make the playoffs, it's likely going to be on the road. It could be against the Bills. It could be against, or actually the Bills are the Bills are in control of their division. It could be the Bills. It could be the Steelers. It could be the Ravens that we end up playing. Probably wouldn't be the Chiefs, right? We'd have to win a game to play the Chiefs because Chiefs are going to have a bye week. But either way, just hoping to make the playoffs, and we'll see if this moves helps us do that. And again, we're going to have more conversations. I had a video recorded that I was going to drop today, but because I thought Anthony might be the quarterback going forward, I didn't think Shane would actually do this. So I'm going to re-record that video with the understanding that Joe Flacco is the quarterback, and I'll put that video out. We're going to talk about AR here in a little while, so subscribe, have notifications on. I appreciate you guys stopping by for this update. Share your thoughts down in the comments. Love to know what you think about the AR situation. Should he not be our quarterback ever? Should this only be a one-game punishment type deal for the rest of the season? How do you think this situation is going to go? How you feel about Joe Flacco being the quarterback? Whatever the case is, let me know down in the comments section. And of course, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.